Date, the 28th of March 2014. Dear Mr. Mark Trewin. I write following our last conversation on the 18th of March 2014, at TH's home of 28Mar Way. The circumstances surrounding this unscheduled visit was one regarding TH's discharge from Ward 8 of Bradford Royal Infirmary, under the charge of staff nurse Angela, to his home. Prior to your visit, there had been a number of discussions and incidences between myself and your subordinate staff members of Nathia Khan and Deepak Patel on the same day at the ward. I would like to highlight these circumstances for the purposes of background and clarity. I received a call from staff nurse Angela on the 17th of March at 17:45, informing me that TH is going to be discharged from the ward the following day. I was informed that the decision regarding his discharge has been taken out of her hands, and there was nothing she could do about it. I later had it confirmed that this was under the instruction of Deepak Patel and the city mental health team, to whose care the nurse would be discharging TH, given as I had refused to have TH discharged into my care. I was alarmed at this disclosure, as we had made several plans to have further meetings with professionals, and we had agreed to have a multidisciplinary meeting, whose arrangement we thought were underway. At this late stage, all this had now been disregarded and he would be discharged without the family's consent. The following day, on the 18th of March, I requested a meeting with staff nurse Angela to discuss my concerns regarding his discharge under the present circumstances. I was given a meeting time for 1:30 to 2 p.m., and I subsequently arrived on the ward at the prescribed time. I informed the staff nurse that before I engage with her I would like to see my brother, and she dully escorted me to his bedside. I asked the staff nurse to act as witness to a document that I retrieved from TH's bedside drawer. The document was a public declaration regarding the nature of my relationship with TH and detailing his direction of conferring on me powers to act as his attorney, to deal with any issues of legality regarding his discharge. The staff nurse requested the assistance of the registrar, Martin, as I had requested 2 independent witnesses to the signing of the document. Both these public functionaries refused to act as a witness to the signing of this document and began to offer baseless arguments regarding their reluctance and prohibition to act as witnesses. They then began to challenge the acceptance or validity of a document that I had drafted, and stated it could not be used as a power of attorney document. At that stage, one had only asked him to witness the signing of the document and not to challenge the legitimacy of the document. As far as I was concerned, such challenges are groundless, especially since they were refusing to act as witnesses to codify the document. As they had refused, I waited until your subordinates Deepak and Nathia arrived to discharge TH. I asked TH to sign this document in front of them. They initially objected to TH signing the document that they had not read, and started to make a scene and attempted to physically prevent and restrain TH from signing this document. When I protested, asking them to back off and allow TH to sign this document, they were then prevented in their attempt to pervert a legal undertaking. They did witness TH sign this document, in conjunction with several other members, but began to state that they refused to acknowledge the witnessing of TH signing the document. They then began to challenge and protest at the validity of the document. They kept on goading TH, asking him repeatedly if he understood what he had signed, and protesting that he didn't understand and objecting to the validity of the document and refusing to accept it. Stating that I was coercing and manipulating the situation, even though TH had responded with the remark in Urdu that both Nathia Khan and Deepak Patel understood when he stated, "My brother is my solicitor." When your subordinates began to protest and refused to accept this document and began acting like childish imbeciles, I got my camera out and stared to record them. They then began to protest about their own rights and began screaming that they had not given me permission to record them, and that they had not consented to my recording. They began to scramble from the scene and evade my recording and refused to answer any questions, like a scene out of Rogue Traders. Most surprising was the conduct of Tossan, who began jeering and protesting profusely and started to call hospital security. I kept on explaining that if you are not doing anything wrong in TH's discharge, then why are you protesting? My recording was of an event in a public place, of a situation that I felt we had not fully consented to and was being pressurized into being held under their authority of being professionals doing the job. Eventually, security was called to escort me off the public premises. So before making a public nuisance and page 1 further escalating disturbances, I removed myself from the situation and informed Deepak Patel that I anticipate to see them with my brother at my home. You then arrived at my home and asked me several questions regarding former alleged statements that I had made threatening to harm TH, most of which I refused to comment on. The one question I did answer in the affirmative was that I would allow TH to come home. At this stage you offered to reinstate the services for TH, given that you acknowledged I was recording our conversation, and you wanted to make a statement on record. You were alleging I had stopped the service provision and that you were happy to reinstate both service provisions for TH and his mother, but refused to acknowledge why I had refused these services for my family members. I made my protests to this statement, but we determined that it was not the best forum to have such a debate. You finally offered to meet me at any time to discuss these matters and agreed to come back to TH's home to have this discussion. Given this background, I would like to clarify a few points. The moment that TH signed the document in question, legally speaking, I claim that attorneyship power had been publicly transferred over to me. You can take legal advice on this matter and look to challenge our claim, but we hold this to be the case. All subsequent action following the signing of this document is now open to be challenged in a courtroom of law. I will, in the fullness of time, look to challenge these actions and decisions, but I will, at the present, refrain myself from digressing further at this stage on these issues. You, along with several professionals, members at the ward, have acknowledged that TH has capacity. A very cryptic word that was used as a means to which the parties concerned feel that they have the authority to do what they did. I will look to challenge this claim, as my understanding is that you need to have capacity to offer consent to make an informed decision. Simply by stating, he has capacity, and denying any other recognition of TH's rights is highly dubious. It was under this recognition, professionals' recognition of his capacity, which I looked to work with, under which he had confirmed authority of his power of attorney to me. It was witnessed by several members in a public place. Just because your subordinates refuse to act as witnesses does not negate or invalidate the legality of this document. TH has not signed over enduring power of attorney to me, which is a more powerful and permanent legal document that needs to be registered with the Public Guardianship Office and has cost associated with it. All he was simply attempting to do was make a public declaration that he would like me to act as his attorney. Especially given the unusual current circumstances that we all found ourselves in. Can you please explain why he would not want to do so, someone who has many limitations on his capabilities due to his mental and physical disabilities? Will you, like others, claim because I threatened to kill him? I publicly declare yes. I did threaten to kill my own brother, but not because of any malice or ill content on my part, but more to highlight the malice and manipulation on your part. This is a care issue and I am unwilling to care for TH and other family members without the appropriate care provision. The care package that you have been proposing and trying to implement, forcibly may I add, is simply not acceptable because under it you retain power, control, financial incentive, legitimacy, authority and respectability without any commitment to risk. Responsibility and obligation to duty of care. You have been hoping to burden me with these aspects of care in an attempt to evade being held accountable. The principle which you should be operating under is to allowing me and my family members autonomy and self-determination with dignity, respecting our human rights and civil liberties within what the law has prescribed. You may rhetorically exclaim, that is exactly what you are doing, but we both know that covertly, your actions are more aligned to the principle of saving money and retaining power and control at whatever cost, and to reduce your risks and commitment. I have always been open and honest about the money situation. I refuse to help you with the audit of TH's direct payment account, since I am under no legal obligation to do so. Furthermore, I do not believe that even TH is under any legal obligation to help you with the audit of the funds that you have been paying him, as you have unlawfully been making payments without a valid legal contract. The simple fact is that you have been negligent on this matter and are looking to find ways to cover your own tracks. As you are fully aware of, I am now under a criminal investigation by the council to discredit me. Your pathetic attempts at my character assassination by perusing me on criminal charges are more than welcomed, and I relish the opportunity to have my day in court. It is unacceptable that you had failed to monitor TH in the community for a number of years. I would equally like to see how well you to defend your position. Once again, the legality of your actions is highly contestable. For the time, let's just wait and see, only time will tell. I can still hear the fat lady singing that miserable song of dreaming dreams. As long as she is dreaming, then we should keep on dancing. Page 2. We, as a family, are now being persecuted under your influence, but this shall remain outside the scope of this letter. I had clearly explained the purpose of the document TH was signing the day before to him, and he was fully aware of what he was signing over. He had clearly expressed his understanding, following his signing this document, and to this day he maintains this position. I am happy for you to independently verify and confirm that this is still the case and that TH, with informed capacity to consent, then and now, hold this to be the case. You may choose to challenge this document on the grounds that TH was coached or coerced into signing this document under pressure and duress, but an equal claim can also be made regarding your subordinate's conduct towards TH. I have personally witnessed them use language that is inappropriate, misleading, or asking loaded questions to achieve their objectives. The conduct is highly questionable given that TH is a vulnerable adult with mental health issues, who does not always have all the language skills that many of us take for granted. The central point of this letter is to inform you that I now claim to act as TH's legal attorney in the eyes of the law. If you look to challenge my claim, then by all means present your arguments and we can get this issue settled and resolved in a courtroom of law. If you are successful in your challenge, then all I would look to do is to give instructions to a solicitor to get a more powerful enduring power of attorney, and have it registered with the PGO. I just don't feel it is in TH's best interest to incur this unnecessary cost and have our time wasted, unnecessarily. Acting as TH's legal attorney, I would now like to take up your offer to meet with me to discuss how best to proceed forward. I would like to remind you that you are currently under a legal obligation to TH under your duty of care. This obligation does not get extinguished on my simple refusal to accept care package services which I feel are not in TH's or my mother's best interest, and has long-term detrimental effects on me and my family. Now, in order for me to engage with you to help you fulfill your obligation to TH and my mother, I require you and all your subordinates and other professionals engaged with TH to fill out my Professionals Engagement Questionnaire for people in organizations and to treat me with the dignity and respect that I deserve. As a private citizen, I have always had and continue to do so, authority as a member of the public over those who work as public servants. I just feel at times that you and others have forgotten this and overreached into insubordination. I have always chosen to act and conduct myself with restraint and respect, but when others choose to take liabilities and have sinister and ulterior motives, I am within my right to speak out and reprimand those who step out of line. The only rights you have whilst working are those limited by employment rights. When not working, you too have full citizenship right like me and the rest of the public. The people involved are Nathia Khan, Sanjeev Singh, Deepak Patel, Richard Exceller, Jane Foster, Andy Parsons, Dr. Shaukat Ali and all accompanying staff members that I have met in the course of my interaction with members of your team and people under your sphere of influence. Please instruct them to complete this questionnaire and return it to me promptly. This will provide me with clarity of the people I am dealing with, and acts as my risk assessment to best help safeguard me whilst carry out my role. Once this has been completed, we can arrange to meet. I would like to highlight, your failure to comply in a timely manner will only serve to establish your true reluctance to see this matter brought to a swift conclusion, and will have cumulative consequences and opens you to charges of contempt and prejudice against me and my family. I would like to press upon you the urgency of dealing with this matter, as your legal obligation to TH has now been outstanding for a period over more than a year. Finally, I would like to declare that at present, under the current arrangements and setup, TH's health, safety and security remains at a major risk, and I would urge you to act with due diligence and treat this matter with the utmost urgency and as a high priority that it deserves. Kind regards, Mr. S. Hussain. P.S. I acknowledge that I have as yet not responded to your former email correspondence, as I had once stated I would do so, on previous matters. This is only due to the uncertainty that we as a family have faced for a number of months and perceived threats. I will look to do so fully once time permits. Page 3.